Namaste, everyone. Good morning, good evening, namaskar from wherever you all are joining. It will be nice to see where you all are joining from. We are expecting more people to join us for the webinar. We're still waiting for one of our panelists. So namaskar, Ajit ji. Namaste, Parvati ji. So we will start in say about 2 hours. I'm sorry, 2 minutes and. So we have a few people who have joined us. Namaste Karanji, Kumuji Namaskar, Rasikji, Puruji, Rhonda, Namaste. I see Ankur Patel. Ankur, if it is Ankur from HUA, is that you? Okay, and Parvati ji, while we wait for Murli ji, we are at the start point of the webinar.
We can start.
Yeah, we can start with a short prayer if you are ready for it. And then, short introductions while I will join. Thank you.
Namassarvebhyah. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Dhanyavad, Parvati ji. So, should we wait for Murli ji or we can just start with the introductions?
With introducing me and Ajit ji, and then when Murli ji joins, you can.
I can do that, right? So let us just begin. So, namaste, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar will introduce you and take you to the nuances of Sanskrit journey from beginners to an advanced level and all the stages and how and what is taught at HUA and who all are eligible to take classes here and what will be the starting point and the kind of entry point for them. So today for the webinar we have Srimati Parvati Shriram. Srimati Parvati Shriram serves as the coordinator of Sanskrit studies at HUA. She is a physical therapist by profession and has over a decade of experience in teaching Sanskrit and Vedanta. She also serves as the main faculty for the Sanskrit program at HUA and coordinates language and Sanskrit studies. She has over a decade of experience, as I told you, and that includes teaching at Arshavidya Bharati and Chinmaya Mission. And she remains dedicated to both teaching and learning. She's been teaching at HUA for almost 4 years now, Parvati ji. 4 years, yeah. Okay, and then we have, Murli ji has joined. Namaskar, Murli ji. Murli Mandam ji has just completed his HUA Sanskrit certificate. His interest in Sanskrit started with his inquisitiveness to understand and appreciate the shlokas he learned. He has a master's in computer science from BITS Pilani in India, and he has worked for Nokia and is currently leading and managing an engineering team developing a predictive analytics dashboard for a leading healthcare company. And this will be the first course that he will be teaching at HUA. Welcome, Murli ji. This is your first webinar as a faculty. Ajit Bondre ji is an assistant professor of Sanskrit at Hillside Ayurveda Medical College and a Sanskrit facilitator at Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir. He is dedicated to making Sanskrit simple, joyful, and accessible, and is committed to promoting Indian knowledge traditions with clarity and enthusiasm. Welcome all three of you. And before we begin the webinar, the presentations by the panelists, All the question and answers will be answered by them after the presentation. So please put in your questions in the Q&A box. We will also be taking a couple of polls. Please respond to the polls. It will be really appreciated by us. And if at all you would want to ask any questions in person, please raise your hands. I'll promote you to a panelist and you can speak. Thank you, and over to all three of you. Welcome.
Thank you, Pragyaji. I would be presenting the Sanskritam programs and courses that are available at HUA first, and then I'll also talk about the ones that are available in our winter quarter, which starts from January. Pragyaji, I should be able to share the screen, right? Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
The slideshow mode. Is it visible, Pragyaji?
Yes, Parvatiji, it is.
There are many programs. So we first talk about programs, and then I'll talk about the courses as well. So the two programs that you see up here are the micro certificate in Conversational Sanskritam and the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency for Vedic Studies. I'm presenting these programs because these are available in the winter quarter. And the micro certificate in Conversational Sanskritam is for speaking, primarily for speaking. And the eligibility would be for those who know a little bit of Sanskritam. So one who has a little bit of vibhakti knowledge, one who knows nouns, pronouns, verbs. So they can take the micro certificate in Conversational Sanskritam. This will be for 1 year duration. And the at the end of the course, you can expect to be able to speak in Sanskritam, speak in simple Sanskritam. The certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency is a 4-year long program, which begins all the way. It does not assume any Sanskritam knowledge, and you start all the way in the beginning. So you start from learning what's a noun, how the verbs work, everything, and then go all the way through to advanced Sanskritam grammar, and it prepares you to go into the master's program. So we have a master's program, and after this, one should be able to take the proficiency test for the eligibility for master's program and should be able to clear that. So that is the certificate program. I'll talk more about it in detail. So this is a 4-year long program, as I said, and there are 4 phases in them: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and proficiency. And these classes, all of them that we are talking about, are 1.5 hours in duration every week. And we go by quarter system, so that is about 3 months. In 3 months, about 10 classes. And these courses have examinations. And the course that I'm talking about is the Introduction to Scripts and Sounds. For those who do not know Devanāgarī script, those who need help with pronunciation, this is a good course. This is a 2-part course. The first one is going to be offered in the winter quarter. It will start in January. And this is a 1-credit course. And it's a 2-part, each one being 1 credit each. And the first part will cover the Devanāgarī letters. So by the end of the quarter, one should be able to identify them, to be able to write the Devanāgarī letters, to learn the pronunciation. In the second course, one learns to read text, read and write, not just text, even poetry, Shlokas. So there is a practice that is given in class for the reading practice. I wouldn't say chanting practice exactly, but being able to take a verse and even able to read fluently. So this is the course that helps one learn the script. So script, and to be able to read it with correct pronunciation. Now, to give you an overall view of all the courses that we have for Sanskritam studies that one may be interested in taking. So the first one that you see is this 4 phases and 4 courses in the Conversational Sanskritam. So this is a spoken Sanskritam. And this, along with SPVS, there's one more that I did not add because we are not offering that in the winter quarter. We also have Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita, which is similar to this one that you see, this path that you see. This is the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency, where there are 4 courses in each year. So there will be a total of 16 courses in the duration of 4 years. Here you see only 4 courses. Here you're seeing 16 courses. So anytime once you finish this first year or the second year, one would have the eligibility to take this conversational Sanskritam along with this one. So it does not either or, can be done together. And it's the same thing with the CSBG, that is the Bhagavad Gita, Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita. So as one is pursuing that, one can also take the spoken Sanskritam. Now, along with these two, one should be able to take this Sanskrit proficiency test, which is required for MA eligibility, and then take the MA Sanskrit. If one feels that I do not have the time for masters, or I need more to study a little more, we also have the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, which is a grammar-based course. And if there are any of you in the audience who say, I have already taken Sanskritam, I know Sanskritam, but I just need to, be a little more firm in the grammar before I move on to take MA Sanskrit, then this would be the good course. I'll talk about it at the end. Now, these two are the programs that we talked about. This leads to this one. So the first one we are talking about, that is coming up in the winter quarter, that leads to the master's level courses. So the certificate program is 4-year long. Master's is a 2-year long program. Today, we are not going to talk about the master's level programs. We're only talking about the certificate level programs. Now, this is the certificate level programs are specifically designed for those who do not have any knowledge of Sanskritam. So if you know Devanāgarī script, if you are able to read and write, then I would say, even if you need a little bit of brushing up with the this Devanāgarī script, that's okay too. If you're able to identify them, if you're able to write a little, then you can start with the certificate programs. And it takes you all the way from that level to being able to parse the shloka, to be able to summarize it in Sanskritam. So, and you'll be able to write an essay, or you'll be able to write letters, you'll be able to read texts and understand them. When I say text, I'm talking about, let's say you're taking up a bhashyam or something. You should be able to kind of get what it's saying. But this does not still make you proficient in studying the Shastric texts. That would be the master's level program. Now, the main objectives of the program. First is the reading and writing proficiency, then building vocabulary, and then comes the grammar. And most of these are going to be taught in English, but slowly we move on to teaching a little bit in Sanskritam in the 3rd and 4th years. And one should be able to translate. If you were given a sentence in Sanskritam, you would comprehend it, you will be able to translate it in English. And as part of this, one can actually pick up spoken Sanskritam, but many feel that they need more practice, and that's one of the reasons why we have our conversational Sanskritam. And when we say produce a variety of content, we're talking about essays that you can write, taking up shlokas and summarizing them. So those are the kind of things you'll be able to do at the end of the 4-year program. Not able to. Let me stop sharing, go back. Now this 4-year long program that we are talking about, so it is broken up into 4 phases. The beginner phase, which lasts 1 year, there will be 4 courses in each phase, and each course would be 1.5 credit hours, and you'll have about 60 hours of classroom instruction, and you're expected to put in at least twice as much time outside of class. I would say twice is the minimum. So it's, for some of you, it may take longer. So it depends on every person, it's different. So twice as much as the class duration is what is the minimum expected. And that would be for all the 4 years. So beginner phase would, the pace is going to be kind of steady. So it will not be very slow in the beginning and then pick up. That's not how it's going to be. The beginner phase will also have a kind of the same pace as you would see when we move forward, because in the 4 years there's a lot to cover. So a lot of people feel in the beginner phase that this is a fast pace, but you get used to it along the way. So as I mentioned, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and proficiency phase. And this is the structure of the program. So 1.5 credits every quarter, and that will be 15 hours of instruction, which is 10 classes per quarter over 10 weeks duration. And the 11th week will be reserved for a quarter end assessment. So the assessment is done, it's not a proctored test. You would be able to take it up, without joining a Zoom session. You would be able to take the test on your own. And a minimum of 60% is required to pass the course. When you go into our website, you will be able to see this information. I'm not going to go over this information. I'll just show you what you look for. So each course, this will be the first course that begins in January. So what you should be able to do at the end of that 3 months is what you see here in our course learning objectives. And then you will find the contents also on our website, exactly what you learn for each course. So this is given for all the 16 courses that I talked about. So you should be able to see the progression for each course. So you see, so each course, you will see what you should be able to do at the end of the course, and there will be a brief description of the course. You will see the course content as well. So on for the 16 courses that's part of the program. Now about the LAN course, the Devanāgarī script. The Devanāgarī script, the course is again divided into 2 parts. The first course is 3 months, and it starts with just having you read and write the letters, the Devanāgarī letters. So when we say Devanāgarī letters, there are vowels, there are consonants, then there are combination letters, and then there are conjuncts. So for those of you who think I know Devanāgarī, so maybe you know Hindi. The problem there would be that you would not have used the conjuncts. Conjuncts are different from how you would use it in Hindi, and it is a good idea to join if you are not sure about the conjunct letters. Conjunct letters, the pronunciation will not be a big problem, but to be able to read and write the conjuncts, and that is where when you see a Sanskritam shloka, and if you are not able to read it fluently, if you know Devanāgarī, then this is a good course. The LAN 0101, which is the Introduction to Scripts and Sounds, is a good course to join. Now, when do these batches start? The certificate program, the 4-year-long program, the first course starts on January 11th, Sundays at 6:30 Eastern Time. And the first course of the Introduction to Sounds and Scripts, it starts on January 15th, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And the other courses that are available, if there are any of you who say, I know some Sanskritam, but and do I have to start all the way at the beginning? No, you absolutely don't have to. We do take lateral entries. There will be tests that are administered. So once you take the test and you qualify, you are eligible to gain lateral entry into the programs. Now, the ones that are offered currently are the 3rd course in the 1st year, the 2nd in the 2nd year, and the second in the third year. And this is the spoken Sanskritam. So the spoken Sanskritam started last quarter. So the second course is available, which means if you are able to say simple things like that is a tree and this is my name and this is where I live, you're able to make simple sentences like that, then the course next that comes after that is available in the January session as well, in this winter quarter as well, which starts in January. This micro certificate in spoken Sanskritam is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you see that HUA.edu is where you go for all the information that I just showed you. All the information is available on that one. And info@hua.edu is where you write if you have any questions, any questions. So if you have registration related questions, if you have course related questions, the registration team will be able to answer it for you. If you have any academic questions, they'll put you in touch with me and I will be talking to you. Right. Now I would like to ask Murliji and Ajitji to introduce themselves. Murliji will be co-teaching with me in the course that is called the LAN 0101, which is Introduction to Sounds and Scripts. And Ajitji will be co-teaching with me in the SPVS, that is Certificate Program, the first course of the Certificate Program. Ajitji, go ahead.
Yes, Namaste everyone. My name is Ajit Bondre, and I'm delighted to join you as the co-faculty for this course, Beginning Sanskrit with Parvati ji. And I believe that Sanskrit is not only classical language. Sanskrit is a powerful tool for understanding Indian great heritage, yoga, uh, Ayurveda. If we want to know our Vedas, yoga, we have to we have to learn Sanskrit. And I feel very honored to be a part of Hindu University of America's mission. And I look forward to supporting all of you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Namaste. Namaste. I thank Hindu University of America for giving me the honor to be a faculty. I have been with the Hindu University just maybe a little more than 2 years. I started with the certificate course in Sanskrit Proficiency, and asking me to be initially a teaching assistant and then to be a faculty, it's a big honor. I mean, they've placed a lot of confidence in me. And I really like the courses, and Parvati ji especially was a excellent instructor, very patient in teaching. So I suggest, like most of you, to take the opportunity to learn the language. As Mr. Ajit Bondre said, it's a very rich language. A lot of Indian culture kind of hidden behind that. So it'll be a nice course for all of you to get familiar with Sanskritam. I look forward to talking to many of you in the LAN course. As Parvati was saying, I'll be assisting her in the next quarter. Thank you. Dhanyawada.
There are a few questions.
Yes, Parvati ji. So we can, you can
I'll
start.
Yeah, I'll take the first one. The first one I think is the most commonly asked one. I can read and write Devanāgarī script, so where do I belong? So if you are very comfortable reading and writing Devanāgarī, I would say you can join the first course of the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency, SAN 0101, because we will go over those conjunctions and special the difference between Hindi and Sanskritam in that first course. So that is okay. If you need some help with the fluency, if you have studied but you're not fluent, that is when the LAN course, the Introduction to Sounds and Script, is suggested. It is not suggested if you already are fluent in reading and writing Devanāgarī, because that course is designed for those who know known Devanāgarī at all. And you will end up being bored in that class because you already know the script. So I would suggest that if you already know some Devanāgarī, please consider SAN 0101, which is the first course of the certificate program. That was the first question. Okay, the conversational Sanskritam. The conversational Sanskritam does not go into grammar. So that is one of the reasons I said the grammar, basic grammar knowledge is assumed when you join the spoken Sanskritam. Spoken Sanskritam class will not cover any shlokas. Chanting is not part of the conversational Sanskritam class. So for you to understand shlokas, the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency is the best place to be. And Murliji, being a part of the program, will tell you that at the end of the program, they take up verses and they are able to present it, present the whole thing, parse it, to be able to understand it, to be able to give the gist. And that is the aim of the program. So if you're planning to study shlokas, then I would say the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency is the better course for that. The SPVS and the Bhagavad Gita course are the same. So they are not, there are many students who do take both of them because they feel that it's complementary and they learn it faster. They learn it much more in depth because the way it is covered, the pace, the subjects introduced, the topics introduced are different. The Bhagavad Gita, Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita is a much more rigorous course than the certificate course in Sanskritam Proficiency. This one is it goes at a much slower pace, lighter load. But the Bhagavad Gita through Sanskritam, the first 2 years, all the grammar is taught. So whatever we're doing in 4 years will be covered in 2 years. So that is like twice as fast as this one. And then you study the Bhagavad Gita for the next 2 years. The 18 chapters need to be covered. Therefore, that course is a fast-paced course. The SPVS is a much slower paced course than the CSBG. Are there any other questions?
Ratiji, for Sanskrit, many students have this, or many, in fact, parents have this question: what is the correct age and what age will we take the students in?
So we suggest 14, but if we have made exceptions in the past, if the student is 12 or 13, we do take them. If the student is able to manage their coursework beyond the LMS, because this is a group where we have people of all ages. So that is something that if it suits your student, then we will be able to take 12 onwards. I have had a student as young as 10 also. So, but there was a sibling in the same class. So that helps. If there's a parent or a sibling in the class, if we're talking about a 10 and 11-year-old, then that helps. If you want to join as a family, then yes, that is quite all right because they will get the help that they need.
Anyone?
And there was a question about the time.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a question about the time course. The LAN course currently is scheduled for Thursday, 9 to 10:30 p.m. But if a majority prefers it on a weekend or a different day, then we still have time to please write to info@hua.edu telling that yes, I cannot make it on Thursdays, but I would really like to join the course and I would prefer Saturday, Sunday, and then we will see what we can how we can arrange that. The SAN 0101 time will not change. The time for the program, the SPVS program, that will stay at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sundays, because Ajit ji is also part of that program, and he lives in India, so that's a good time for him. The 9 p.m. does not quite work for him because he works at the university. The LAN, of course, we can do it on the weekend at a different time, different range of Sunday. If we can have a Saturday, we can.
I think Parvati ji, the chat says LAN 0101 is on Sundays.
Yeah,
I think it meant like
The
San 01.
sorry, the website has Sunday as
There is an
the
error on
day.
the website because the LAN is the language class is on Thursdays, yes, and the
Okay, so the website
so-
needs to be
because the
corrected then.
website, I think there was an error before. I don't know now what it says. Previously, it showed both the courses at the same time.
Oh, so now it's showing Sunday 6:30 to 8 p.m.
Both of them are showing 6:30 to 8 p.m.
No, I'm just checking the SAN course. Just give me a minute. Anyway, we'll confirm that.
We'll talk about the time.
Yeah,
So
sure.
the times that I mentioned are the ones that it's currently offered. As I mentioned, the certificate program time will not change. That's the time that we are going to keep it, at least for 1 quarter. After that, if a majority feels that we want to change, then we will consider that. For January to March, that's the time that we have picked. For the LAN, the Introduction to Sounds and Scripts, the time can be on weekends instead of a weekday, if that is more preferable.
Yeah, looks like there is some confusion. Both courses are showing the same
Same
date and
time
time.
and so I'll have to
We'll
duplicate
share the
myself.
corrected, yes, we'll share the corrected schedule.
We'll be able to do that if I duplicate myself, yes.
Yeah.
Still haven't figured out how to, so we will have to change the time. There is a question about if I have studied Sanskritam, I had a year of Sanskritam. So if you if you have already studied Sanskritam, I would say please reach out to info@hua.edu and I'll talk to you about the lateral entry test, and I'll personally talk to you and figure out what you have studied in that 1 year, and then suggest the appropriate level of entry. So most likely, if you have done 1 year and if you've covered the same things that we cover in that first year, you can join the second intermediate level. But it depends on what you've covered. If not, then you probably will have to join the third course of the beginner level. So that will be the level after 6 months of the program. So it's either there or you will be in the intermediate level. One of that, depending on how much you've studied in the 1 year. I would suggest that for those of you who are looking for lateral entry, look at our website, look at what is covered in that first year, and you will get a fairly good idea of where you are with respect to taking that lateral entry test. And then, of course, you can have a conversation with me before you actually ask for that lateral entry. And each course will be for a duration of 3 months. About 3 months, because that's 1 quarter. So 10 classes, 10 weeks, and then the 11th week would be the examination week. And then you would mostly have 1 or 2 weeks break, sometimes 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks break before we start the next quarter. The break will be a little longer in summer, but otherwise summer and December. But it will probably be just about 1 week for the other 2 quarters.
And just one more thing, Parvati ji, we may want to tell all of them that this is a progressive and a sequential program. So the students must pass the current course to move to the next one.
To earn the program certificate, one needs to have completed at least 15 out of the 16 courses. So that is something that's needed to earn a program certificate. So if one course is skipped, and you say I'll make up for it, however, that's not possible in the later stages. When we say one course that can be skipped, that would be the first course. So some people prefer to skip the first course where we go over the alphabets in a great detail, and we talk about the basics, like how to identify the gender of a word, those kind of details. I seriously do not recommend anybody skipping that. For those who have skipped in the past, I have seen that they actually go back and take that course again. So it is not really recommended. Almost everybody who skipped that goes back and takes that course. So they feel that they missed out on things. So that is not quite recommended. So do the whole program, and it's sequential, as Pragyaji mentioned. One has to pass the course to move to the next level. So LAN is also like that, but LAN is just a 2-part program. So if one wants to join 0101, they can join. If they want to join the 0102, they can join that as well. There are students who feel that I just need more fluency. I already can identify the the script. I just need more fluency. They join the LAN 0102. That is okay with that particular course. And SPVS during the weekday. In January, we have not planned for a weekday. We are going to keep it for the Sunday afternoons. And if, as I mentioned, if a majority are asking for that, then we will consider that and get back to you. So those of you who feel that the day or time does not work for you, please reach out to Pragyaji and let them know, so the registration team will make a note of what is your preference. So if you are absolutely not able to make it, then we will at least let you know when the next time it's offered, we will try to keep that in mind and offer. So usually we offer these, the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency every 6 months. So if you miss this one, in 6 months, we'll plan to offer one again. So if this time absolutely does not work for you, we'll keep that time in mind and we will offer it at that. If it's a weekday that you want, then we'll offer the next one in the weekday. We usually do one weekday and one weekend. So last time we offered it on a weekday, which was Mondays. So this time we offered it on a weekend. Any other questions or anything else that I missed, Pragyaji?
There is a question. Did you answer this one? Are each of the SPVS courses offered every quarter or only few times a year?
It depends on the batch. So everything is not offered at once. So that was one of my slides. It said that the third course in the first beginning level, the second course in the intermediate level, and the second course in the advanced level are offered right now. So it depends on the continuing batch. So the batch that starts, they keep moving forward. So whenever that is available, that is when, whenever whatever is already running, the course that is running, that is how we would be able to offer it. So we will not suddenly start a new batch of intermediate level. We do not do that. It is for those who have completed, or if a batch has just completed the first and the last course of the first year, then the second year's first course is going to be offered in the next quarter. That is usually how we offer that. For the
we
LAN
ideally
also,
try to have how many? Two, right? Two new batches every year, Parvatiji?
Every 6 months.
We try to have two new, yeah.
Same with the LAN course as well, the introduction to the Devanāgarī script as well. We do the same. We offer, what we usually do is we offer the certificate program in Sanskrit Proficiency and the introduction to sounds and scripts in the same quarter. So for those who know Devanāgarī script, go into the program. Those who don't know, go into the LAN. And in the alternate quarter, we offer the Bhagavad Gita, Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita. Reason being, Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita expects one to be able to not just read and write Devanagari, should be able to read and write Sanskritam. So, verses. Should be, if there is a verse presented to you, you should be able to read it fluently. And that is expected in the Bhagavad Gita, Sanskritam through Bhagavad Gita. So we offer that in the other, consecutive quarter. The spoken Sanskritam, of course, is we offer it only once a year, and the current batch has started last quarter, and so we have the second course that's coming up in January.
I think, Pragyaji, there's a question about, is it possible to have SPVS during weekdays in the evening? I think you already answered that. You're going to look into the schedule.
Yeah, Parvatiji already answered that. So, and we may want to, anyone else, any other question?
Omarji, you're asking for SPVS to be offered on Monday or Tuesday. So I think that's what Omarji's question was.
No. He's asking me to call him on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I thought he was asking for that.
So, and we may, Parvatiji, you may just also talk about the
if you can,
retreat that's happening.
Yeah, I will. Omarji is, he just finished, he's finishing this, in another 2 classes, he will finish the LAN 0102.
Yes.
He took this introduction to sounds and script. Omarji, would you like to share your experience for a minute or two? If you would, Pragyaji would be able to unmute you.
Yes, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Parvati ji. Namaste, everyone. It's very nice to be on this webinar. And I was looking forward for a webinar of this kind so I can understand the Sanskritam journey better. So thank you for doing this. It's very much needed. And yeah, let me say my experience in both the LAN courses. I took both of the courses because I wasn't sure if I was ready to go straight into the Sanskritam for Vedic studies course. So the LAN courses launched, I think, just before or the same time when I was interested in registering for the certificate in Sanskritam. And they have been phenomenally, good at preparing me in Sanskrit. In fact, they've exceeded my expectation in every way. I am so very, I'm really happy I took those courses. I think I can approach the next level more confidently now. And I'm getting to actually read scriptures and so on already. I can actually read the Bhagavad Gita a little. I don't have much vocabulary, but with the little vocabulary I have, I can pick up a few words here and there. The mantras that are used at temples, I can read them straight off the scriptures now. So it is really good. I think it delivered more than I thought it would deliver. I would recommend it to anyone who's gonna do the certificate in Sanskrit studies. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Omarji, and for your kind words about the program or the course. We are happy that you had a positive experience, and hopefully this will encourage many of you who were thinking about, should I take this with HUA? It's an online course. Can I learn this online? So I hope that encourages those of you who had that doubt to, dispel that and join the LAN course. Any other questions? I mean, I think one of the attendees had raised.
Yes, I will.
Balasubramanian.
Yes, Balasubramanian ji, please unmute yourself.
Hello, namaste. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you, Ji. This has kind of given me a lot of clarification because there were so many courses online. It was kind of difficult for me to understand. So my obviously I had this question before. I've learned Hindi before in school. I can read and write, and of course, some of the gender stuff I'm a little bit, rusty. But you think I can still start with LAN? What was it, LAN or SAN? SAN 0101,
Right.
correct?
You can start with SAN 0101. In SAN 0101, we do go over the conjunct alphabets again, because for those coming from, Hindi or other language background, the conjuncts may be a little different the way you write it there.
Correct.
So
Correct.
we do go over that one. We do go over the gender in the first course. All those basics will be covered.
Okay, but I don't need to, in parallel, I don't need to take the other conversational Sanskrit, or do I need to have that?
Conversational Sanskrit is not yet. Conversational Sanskrit assumes a knowledge of vibhaktis and the verbs, verb forms. It is I would say about after you finish about 1.5 year of this program is when conversational Sanskritam would make sense. Because otherwise you go there, you don't have the vocabulary, you don't know the sentence structure, you take longer to learn. We saw that many feel frustrated because, when we say conversational Sanskritam, the way it works in Bharat is because most people speak other Indian languages and most people are hearing this on an everyday basis. So it makes it easier. Out here, especially, we have a lot of people from non-Indian language speaking background. So that makes it very difficult when we set the eligibility criteria as don't need to know Sanskritam, we will teach you Sanskritam in the conversational Sanskritam. That becomes very hard. So we have the eligibility as set up a little higher, saying that you have to know sentence construction before you go into that particular course.
Okay. Then
You'll be able to take it after a year or so, yes.
Okay. How about the sounds of Sanskrit? We don't need that, or
No, you would not need that because
okay.
you will know the pronunciation of all those letters.
Got it. Thank you very much, Parvati. I mean, conversing over email doesn't necessarily help. This webinar really helped me out. Thank you very much.
Glad it helps you. Okay, I also would. I think there is one more. Are there any more questions?
No,
I'll talk about the
different. Yeah.
We have a retreat, Sanskritam retreat coming up. If there are any of you who know Sanskritam, say I know Sanskritam, I know the Vyakarana, I know some grammar, and I would like to have this immersive experience where I'm going and learning a lot more. We have an in-person retreat that's coming up in this month. That's the 11th, not far. It's just next week, next Thursday. It starts next Thursday. We have it in our campus in Florida, Orlando, Florida. If you are interested, please reach out again to info@hua.edu. We can share more information. There's also concurrently, there's an astronomy retreat that's going on. If you're interested in astronomy, that's also, and if you want to attend it as a family, one of you or two of you could go into the Sanskritam, two could register for the astronomy. So many families do that. So because interests are not always aligned. So that's one of the reasons why we offer more than one retreat at the same time. So we have Sanskritam and astronomy. The Sanskritam will cover the Rudram, chanting of the Rudram, chanting, and it'll go over the Rudram meaning and grammar in great detail. And also Dhatu Pata. The Paniniya Dhatu Pata is the other thing that we will go over. When we say Dhatu Pata, Dhatus are verb roots. So we will have a recitation and go over the salient aspects of the Dhatu Pata itself. So these are the two topics that are picked for the retreat. And if any of you are interested, if you have family members who may be interested, please let us, Pragyaji can share that information with all of you. And we'll keep the registration open for another 2-3 days at least. I know that the retreat is starting on the 11th, but we will still keep the registration open for a few more days. And the registration is, you can start registering for this certificate program and LAN right now. It's already open. And I would recommend all of you to finish your registration in another week or so. Gives us a lot more time to plan. And especially if you want a different time or day for LAN, for the introduction to sound and script, please let us know at the earliest, so we can try to accommodate for that.
We have one more question. Okay, no, that's okay.
No other questions. Ajitji or Murliji, did you want to add anything else to what I said? What I've said so far? If I missed anything?
No, Parvatiji. I think it was good. I mean, I shared my own experience. It is very useful. So I would encourage people to explore the possibilities that one can achieve with knowing Sanskritam and how to appreciate the shlokas, which was my prime intention. So it was really something that I feel like everyone should experience and go through to master the language. Thank you.
All of you who want to learn let's say the Bhagavad Gita or any shloka, and you want to know the meaning without resorting to translations, this is where you start. So you start here, and by the end of the 4 years, you will be in a position to be able to understand. And once you go into the master's program, which I mentioned, where the original bhashyas are taken up and studied, so there our master's program is excellent. So we don't have just one specialization. So you'll have, when you say Vyakarana, Pravesha into Ashtadhyayi is there. And then when we say Sahitya, all the main text, Rasagangadhara, the Kavya Prakasha, everything, all the main texts are taken and studied. So it's the same thing with Veda. We have all the 4 Vedas covered in the master's program. So Nyaya Vaisheshika, Jyotisha, Ayurveda, all those are there in the master's program. But this is where one starts before one gets there. And it may seem like 4 long years, but we have this for a 4-year long period simply because everybody has a job, everybody has other things going on, and we meet only once a week. So we don't have anything that is accelerated. We don't have an accelerated program. But if there are any of you who feel that I know some Sanskritam and I want to accelerate my journey before I go into the masters, then the Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi course that I mentioned is the right place for you. That is also offered on Sundays at an earlier time in the afternoon. So if you're interested in that, please write to us and we'll share that information about that course as well.
Parvati ji, if I may add one more point. So I learned when I learned shlokas as a kid, like, I was just kind of repeating the pronunciations, and then the as you say, like the meter or the how in what intonations we should chant the shlokas. But learning Sanskrit, we know where to split the words and like how to join the words and then appreciate the meaning. So that's the kind of the key elements that this course taught me. So, and helps you appreciate the language and the shlokas even better.
Yes, Murli ji. And Parvati ji, if I may share my experience with Haridas ji. Okay. So I am very confident Hindi, like I'm very good at Hindi. And when Haridas ji told me, yes, you can, if you know Hindi, it's you can definitely come and join. So I was like, I walk into that class completely confident that, oh, I know Hindi, so it's just the same alphabets, just the same pronunciation, and this 1 quarter will be a breeze before I, join Parvati ji to learn Sanskrit even further. And the first class, and it was like I was back to probably my nursery or KG or some place where we are learning to identify alphabets and the sounds that are associated with it. It is so different from Hindi or maybe all other languages as well, some of them at least. So it's for all people who feel that okay, I know Hindi, Devanāgarī script is there, yeah, we know the script, but the beauty of when we are learning the phonetics, the sheer difference between, at least I know Hindi, so I can talk about Hindi. The sheer difference in how we say words and how we pronounce words in Hindi and how we do it in Sanskrit. It's so different. It is like amazing to kind of learn. It's like unlearning a language that you do know, and now learning a completely whole new language. So it's actually an amazing thing to do.
Since our audience is all adults, so the way we present alphabets is not how you would have encountered it at school. At school, you just say, they say ah, you say ah, and that's how we learn the alphabets. So here, when we say ah, I say, okay, there are 18 kinds of ah. They're like, what, 18? We only learned 2. So where did the 18 come from? So then we talk about what are the differences, how, the alphabet, how it is,
Absolutely.
we talk about it the way Panini Maharshi has put it in his text, Rashtadhyayi. So he has started all the way from the alphabets. So he describes each alphabet in great detail. So everything is, very, very structured. The learning of Sanskritam, starting from the alphabets, is very structured. So it is, the pronunciation cannot be either this or that. Yes, you hear a lot of, variations, regional dialects. So, but there is one right way to do it, and it is very scientifically explained by Panini Maharshi where the sound originates, what kind of effort is there, whether the sound comes from your diaphragm region or from your throat region. Everything is very, very scientifically explained. So when we are talking about pronunciation, we're talking about going in that great detail, not just repeating an alphabet or rote, or just practicing,
learning, yeah.
over again. No rote learning with our grammar. If there are any of you who have studied Sanskritam before and you're like, okay, we're going to go Ramaha, Ramaha, Ramaha. No, we are not going to do that. So we are not expecting anybody to memorize anything. All our assignments and tests are going to be open book. So we're not asking anybody to memorize anything. No shlokas need to be memorized. No sutras need to be memorized. No forms need to be memorized. And then you wonder, if I don't memorize anything, if I'm looking up a dictionary for everything, how am I ever going to pick up anything? You will pick it up. So eventually with use, whether you know it or not, you pick it up along the way. But initially, we are not going to pressurize you to memorize anything. The vocabulary, as you use, it will come. So everything is easy. There's an easy way to do things. So we do it the easiest possible way.
Are there any
Two more
books to
questions.
buy for 0101?
I didn't talk about books. Okay, the books are part of the program, the core course fee and everything. So you will, when you register, you will say, I need books or I have books. So you have those two options. So if you say you need books, then HUA will charge you for those books along with the shipping, and they ship it to you. So you don't have to go looking for the book. If you want to buy the book, then you can. Our website should mention what books are there for each one. For the first course of either one, there are no books. So as we register now in January, there are no books, and that's one of the reasons why I forgot to mention books. So you do not need any books. We will share the PDF with you for whatever you need.
One more question is there, Parvati ji.
If you are able to, if you practice pronunciation, then you do not need to go into the introductions to sound and script. So I would say just go directly for the course. When I say the certificate course, we are not only learning alphabets in the first course, we are also going to start with the vocab. So that's one of the reasons why I would recommend shouldn't be skipped. It is because it's not just pronunciation. That will be only the first part. So we also talk about breaking down the letters and learning what we call the Varnamala. So we think, okay, that's an easy thing. But it's not as easy as it sounds, because if we don't have that right, then later we cannot learn sandhis. So at that point, you would end up learning the alphabets again. So we start with those kind of exercises. And therefore, even if you are able to read and write and chant shlokas in Sanskritam, I would still say join from the 0101. Not the introduction to sounds and script, but the certificate program in Sanskrit and proficiency from the very first course.
Yeah, please do not skip. And that's what I was trying to tell everyone. Please do not skip the first course thinking that you know the script, because it is completely different.
Pragyaji helps the students switch from courses to course if they do, and she will tell you about so many who skip that first one, go to the second one, then they say when is the first one offered, and then they want to go back into the first one, and that's a mess. So I would say just start with the first one, and you would see all your peers will know, will be fluent in reading and writing too. It's not, you're not going to be the only one in that class who will be fluent in reading and writing, and yet there is a lot to learn. And for those of you who come from non-Indian language speaking background, I would like to reassure you that we have many students who do not have any other Indian language background, and they are able to do very well in these programs. So there is no issue at all. So as I said, we go very into great details about the pronunciation. We talk about, and no cultural context expectation is there from your end. We teach you as the course goes along. So please feel encouraged to join this course, because it's for everyone. So it's designed in a way that it's not for people from people who already know Indian. There was a question yesterday that someone asked me, that do I have to know Hindi or any other Indian language before I join this? Absolutely not required.
In fact, we've got non-Indian students also, Parvati ji.
Yes.
People who have, so even they were able to learn. People with absolutely no background.
Have people who don't have any, who have never taken or studied any other Indian languages. Omarji has his hand up. Was it up from before, or it is?
No. He just had his hand up. I will just allow him to talk. Yes, Omarji, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. No, I just wanted to attest to what Parvati ji said, and you as well, that I don't have any background in Indian languages. My ancestors came to Guyana 4 generations ago, and we have lost our language. We don't speak any Indian language here. So I came into Sanskrit without any Indian language, and maybe that was an advantage, but I can attest that, yeah, you don't really need any Indian language to get a hang of it and to really like it and get into it. That's all I was saying.
In our class, there is with the introduction to Sanskrit, there are nobody with Indian language background. There was no one, as I remember. This whole batch was full of students who did not have any other Indian language background. But everybody is doing very well. So, and as Umarji said, they just read a text out of Shankara Bhashyam. And they were very happy that they could do that. So that is how much we cover in that 6 months. And it's not stressful. It's not stressful. We do it very gently. So gently, we take you through that journey. I think we are at the end of our webinar.
Yes. If there are no questions, we can end. Any closing comments, Murliji, Ajitji?
No, Pragyaji. I think, yeah, everything was fine. Thank you.
Yes, from my side also nothing is there. Just Parvati Mohdaya, there is one question about possible to have class for SPVS during weekday evening. And I hope you have covered that.
No, we've asked everyone to write if they require a different time and date. They will write to info@hua.edu, and based on the number of requests we get, we will be able to. We still have time, so please write to us at the earliest. So we will try to. I mean, even if it is SPVS, I said that is not a possibility, but even if that is so, please write to us. We will try to make that accommodation. If a majority of you are requesting, we will try to change that.
Yeah, well, the best thing would be, we'll be sending you all perhaps on Monday. Yeah, by Monday, we'll be sharing this webinar recording with all those who have registered for this webinar. It will be good if you can respond to that email itself, or, we'll also have a WhatsApp message sent to you. So the earlier we gather your interest and the time that you would want the class to have to be held at, it will be good. I mean, Parvati ji will be able to schedule this first one and all other classes accordingly then.
Yes. And I hope to see many of you in those classes.
Thank you so much, Parvati ji. Thank you, Murli ji. Thank you, Ajit ji.
Dhanyavadaha.
Pleasure to host you all.
Dhanyavadaha.
Namaskar, and thank you everyone for taking some time out and being with us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
So Pragyaji, I'll conclude with the closing prayer.
Yeah.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyawad everyone. Namaskar.
Dhanyavada everyone.